All right, so we're going to be starting off Friday morning with me making a like my version of the Jamba Juice PB toast. I don't know if you guys have ever had it, but it's really, really yummy. I love it. And it's basically, I mean, they use kind of like healthier bread. I think there's like multi-grain with like oats and seeds, but this is kind of just what I had on hand. I just had regular white, I think this is Bimbo bread. So I'm just going to take a couple pieces of toast them up, and then I have my beautiful little Cinderella mug that I got at Disney Walk. I absolutely love this mug. It's beautiful. I fell in love with it when I saw it, and I was like, I have to have it. It was like $18 for a freaking coffee mug, but I was like, it's beautiful. I need it. So I just boiled up some water in my electric kettle and poured that in there, and then I'm using just the regular old stuff that you have at every Mexican house is the Nescafe Clásico instant coffee. So I'm just going to pour like a half tablespoon of that in there, and then some creamer. This is the Italian sweet cream by Coffee Mate. This is what happens when you send your husband out with the grocery list. I asked him for coffee creamer, and he brought me like a big old Costco size of coffee creamer. Bless his heart. At least I have creamer forever, and it has like a super long fridge life, so we should be fine there. So after I've toasted and apparently burnt my pieces of toast, I'm gonna grab my banana and just kind of open it up. I'm gonna grab some of my blueberries and wash and rinse them. I want to make sure that we're being really careful with all of our produce, especially with everything going on right now. So I'm just gonna wash and rinse those a few times, trying to make sure I get any dirt and just germs and little critters, little bugs off of them. So just rinsing that. And then I fed a couple to my dogs, of course, because they love blueberries. And then I'm going to be taking, I know Jamba Juice uses peanut butter, but mine, my almond butter is already open. And I honestly prefer almond butter to peanut butter sometimes. I really, really love almond butter. So I'm just going to take some of this slow roasted creamy almond butter and just spread it on my toast. Get every corner. Gotta lick your finger if you get any on there. And then I'm gonna take my banana and I'm just gonna slice it up. Get nice little slices, fill the whole thing so you can get a little piece of banana on every bite. And of course, use the power of editing to make sure you guys aren't just sitting here watching me slice a banana for a solid 2 minutes. And then after that, I'm going to take my blueberries and kind of just sprinkle them all over my toast. Get a good layer of those on there. And then I'm going to just take a little bit of honey and do a little drizzle of honey. I don't think that was any special kind of honey. It was just like some basic honey that I got at some grocery store. And then take a little bit of chia seeds and sprinkle those on there. I sprinkled it on both. I just showed a clip of myself sprinkling it on one, but it's on both of them. Chia seeds are awesome. There's a lot of benefits to eating chia seeds. Do I know them? No, but they're healthy for you, so get your chia seeds in. And then this is my breakfast for day one. My coffee, and then I love, this is probably isn't like the most nutritious yogurt, but I absolutely love the Danonino strawberry yogurts. They're just like perfect little size of yogurt. I ended up actually not eating that till later because I got really, really full off the toast. Being pregnant, I just get full very easily because obviously baby's cramming my stomach. So I ended up finishing my toast and got really full, so I just saved the yogurt for later in the day. And then I'm taking my vitamins. I typically like to have my vitamins shortly after breakfast. I typically save like in between breakfast almost. I save a couple bites of my breakfast to make sure that I kind of get all of the vitamins down my throat. Sometimes they get stuck like at my throat, and that's just uncomfortable. They make me gag sometimes when you can see right here, like I kind of had a moment after like the third pill. I start to gag. I'm like, oh, I have to take a second. But And then things just got super duper hectic throughout the day. I didn't even have a second to have lunch, so I ended up just snacking on this Oats and Honey Nature Valley crunchy granola bar. And then for like an early dinner, late lunch, we ended up having chicken tostadas. Don't mind my husband's broken up tostadas. I had already made myself mine. I'm like, wait, I didn't record myself, so I recorded him as he's using these crumbled up tostadas to make chicken tostadas. We just boiled up some chicken, shredded it up, cut up our lettuce, tomato, onion, have some just regular Mexican crema, and then some, I think this is cotija cheese, and my husband makes this really yummy lemon hot sauce, super duper good. And then we started meal prepping for the next few days. Don't mind our stove, please. It's a mess because we had been cooking all day and just cleaning and doing different things, organizing. So we started making burritos. This is me just getting into the mango bin. I was wanting a snack. Again, I hadn't had lunch, and I was still hungry. I had a couple tostadas, but I just kind of wanted some fruit. I've been absolutely loving fruit during this pregnancy, so just grabbed some mango with some chili powder. And then anyway, going back to this, so my husband and I started meal prepping and making little breakfast burritos. So we made the burritos with eggs, chorizo, cheese, hash browns, or like potatoes and ham. And then we were kind of tag teaming. He was assembling them, and then I was wrapping them up in parchment paper. And then you can kind of see me shortly after here, after I've wrapped them all up. We ended up making 12 burritos. He takes 2 every morning, and I take 1, because again, I get pretty full fast. And he just needs a little bit more, being that they're pretty small burritos. So he takes 2 a day, and then I take 1, and it made enough for I think like 4 or 5 days. So then I'm just kind of putting them in little Ziploc baggies, and then I'm gonna just be putting them in the fridge. If they would be staying any longer than 4 days, I would have probably put them in the freezer, but I thought 4 days was okay. And here I am the next morning. This is Saturday. I was working all day, so I kind of just had to show you guys little clips. I had my burrito that we had made the night before, and then I had a little bag of grapes. And then I had tossed some pasta in a pot. I'd boiled up some pasta, and then I took over that leftover chicken from the tostadas and just tossed that in there. Did a little bit of butter, some garlic salt, and some nutritional yeast. And then this is a really yummy, like almost candy bar that I discovered when I was eating vegan. It's like a vegan soy plant-based bar. It's really, really good. So I just brought that to work because I had gotten a little hungry. And then here I am on, what day is this? This is Sunday morning. So this would be Sunday. I didn't show you guys Saturday's dinner because did I have dinner? I don't think I had dinner on Saturday. I think I just came home and snacked on more fruit. Again, each day just kind of goes a little different. So that's why I kind of want to do a 3-day segment of this whole what I eat in a day while pregnant, because every day looks different. So here I am making myself some avocado toast. I got these beautiful avocados from one of my clients at work. She has her own avocado tree, and she's constantly bringing us in some avocados. They are always so delicious and creamy. I just took that whole avocado, started mashing it up as I was toasting up my bread. And then to this, I added some salt and pepper just to give it a little flavor. And then you'll see me a little later, I like to pour red chili flakes, like crushed chili flakes, on my avocado toast as well. I'm going to start making myself a couple over easy eggs to put on top of my avocado toast in a moment. You'll see that after I spread the avocado on the toast. But yeah, this is like a really yummy, satisfying breakfast. I tend to eat this when I'm really hungry. This was already like around 10 o'clock in the morning because I'd been up since like 7, fed my child, fed my dogs, took the dogs on a walk. I tend to not really eat until a little later, which I know is not the best, but that's just how my days go. I get busy, I start cleaning. Here I am pouring the chili flakes as my egg is frying up. Just using my tiny little egg pan. Makes it like a perfectly round egg. And obviously I fast forwarded that, so that was done. And yeah, that was my breakfast. And here I am. Oh, this is Easter. Yeah, this is Sunday. So this is Easter. I started boiling up a pot of eggs because I'm going to be making deviled eggs in just a moment. We kind of just had a small Easter. Of course, we're still all quarantined. Here I am eating my avocado toast with my fried egg, and the fried egg just kind of flopped over onto my face when I tried to take a bite. Here's my belly. I am 7 months officially as of a day before this clip. So 32 weeks, I think. Yeah, 32 weeks. And here I am taking my vitamins again. So my prenatal, my iron, cranberry vitamin, and then dietary fiber. You're supposed to take fiber when you're on iron because obviously iron can constipate you. So you want to take fiber to make sure everything stays nice and regular. And again, here I am gagging because I can't take that many pills in a row at once, but if I don't get them out of the way, then they don't happen. So okay, and here I am taking the eggs out of the boiling water. They've been boiling for about 14 minutes, and I just put them in an ice bath. An ice bath is said to kind of just help stop the process of cooking so that they don't like overcook, and then also it just makes it easier to peel the eggs. So if you have a hard time peeling boiled eggs for something like this when they kind of need to stay nice and pretty, then try doing an ice bath. They peel, I wouldn't say that they peel super easily, but they definitely peel a lot easier than they would if I hadn't done the ice bath. Last time I tried to do double eggs, I was so frustrated because they kept like breaking, and not breaking, but the egg white was just like coming off on the shell, so they just looked hideous, and I just didn't even want to take them to wherever it was that I was supposed to take them to. I'm gonna dump out the water, and then I'm gonna cut them in half, of course. Take the yolk, take a spoon and kind of just open up the egg itself, and then just kind of plop the yolk into a mixing bowl. That's where you're gonna be mixing all of your, I don't have like the best deviled egg recipe, but they're pretty good. It's just a basic recipe. I don't have any like special secret ingredient. That one broke. You're gonna see me give that one to my husband in a little bit. There I am giving the couple broken ones to my husband because he wanted a snack with a little bit of salt, and I just walked that over to him, being the nice little wife I was, because he was playing his video games. And then here, so I'm going to crumble up all the egg yolks in the bowl before adding my other ingredients, so that way you don't get like any clumps of like dry yolk. I'm going to get that nice and crumbled, and then we're going to add in, I pulled out, I didn't show it, but I did rinse out my little deviled egg container, plopped all my little eggs on there, my little half eggs. I got this at Home Goods. I think it's been like really convenient whenever I make deviled eggs. Gonna do some mustard, about a tablespoon of mustard, a little less than a tablespoon of mustard, and then I'm gonna do some mayo. I think I used like a couple tablespoons of mayo. Honestly, I don't know how many tablespoons. I just used a utensil and just like toss. I just eyeball it. I've been making them so often that I just kind of eyeball it, and then I taste, and then if it tastes good, then we're good to go, and if it doesn't, then I'll kind of keep adding and adjusting. Salt and pepper, and then I'll be sprinkling paprika on top in just a bit. So there's the salt. Mix, mix, mix. And then in a moment I'll be tasting. I realize it tastes fine. And we're good to go. We're going to start filling our centers with the mixture. Just take about a tablespoon amount and then fill each egg. Some people use a piping bag. You know what? I'm just about easy. And I was with family. Had it been for like an event, maybe I would have like been a little more cutesy about it and done a piping bag, but some people say they like the rustic look of just spooning the filling into the eggs, just sprinkling each little egg with some paprika. And then I will be placing it in its little to-go container. And that's how I make my deviled eggs. And then I was just bored. Again, it was Sunday. We weren't really doing much. We were kind of just hanging out at home, waiting till a little later in the day to do the little egg hunt with the kids outside in the backyard. So I decided to try the whipped coffee that has gone viral on TikTok, and actually it came out pretty good. I don't love the strong taste of coffee. I can't do black coffee yet, and I'm pregnant, so I also shouldn't be having too much caffeine, just because it can make me a little jittery if I have too much. But the recipe, I think, is use a tablespoon of sugar, a tablespoon of coffee, and instant coffee, and then a tablespoon of water. Well, I just did half a tablespoon of coffee, and then I whipped that up with my little hand immersion whisk, and then in the other cup you see me pouring vanilla soy milk, and then I used my little frother, and it spilled all over my belly. So here is a nice little spot of milk on my belly. I then put it in the sink, and then I mixed it in the sink, and then I poured that milk into my little reusable kind of iced coffee cup. Once my milk was all frothed up, I put the whipped coffee in there, and it was actually pretty good. Again, once I tasted it, I'm like, I could have added a little bit more coffee. It wasn't that strong of coffee. My niece told me that she didn't like it, but then again, she's 14, so she doesn't drink coffee. So I kind of figured, well, she thought it was too strong, I'm gonna do less. But also, she's 14, so she doesn't drink coffee the way I do. It was pretty good. I liked it. I almost wish I hadn't frothed up the soy milk. I feel like it was a little too whipped and frothy. Like, had I just added the whipped coffee into just like regular cold soy milk, it would have been pretty tasty. And then there's my husband's little sister in the background. And the next few clips are just a few different things that we had for our Easter gathering. We had pizza, some dessert, and my husband made aguachile, and then we had camarones a la diabla with white rice. And that is basically it for my 3-day what I eat in a day segment. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video.